Student Retention at Midwestern State University of Texas. This is a study by Michael Davis, Pete Lerma, Chandler Johnson, and Corey Beaver conducted for our marketing research class in spring of 2019. For a little background on our research, the U.S. has the highest college dropout rate. We're number 1 in terms of people who start college, but number 20 in terms of the number of people who finish. 2 million Americans will start college this fall, but 54.8% will leave without a diploma. And most of those 54.8% are low-income, first-generation, and minority students. Interestingly, Georgia State University is a successful university with the best achievement. African Americans, Hispanic, and low-income students all graduate at rates at or above the national average. In order to graduate, you have to make it past your freshman year, with 70% of students staying on to become sophomores. MSU Texas has freshman retention rates below the national average. 52.3% of first-time, full-time students in the class of 2013 had not completed their degree by 2017. Of these 369 students, 11 were still working toward their degree, 104 had transferred to other institutions, and MSU lost contact with the remaining 254, which are assumed to be dropouts. The research questions our group put together are: does being a first-generation student cause retention rates to fluctuate at MSU Texas? Does race affect retention rates at MSU Texas? Does social integration or a feeling of belonging impact retention rates at the school? Does a family support system improve retention rates? Does being employed while in school affect retention rates? And finally, do faculty attitudes affect retention rates at MSU Texas? The group put together 5 ANOVA hypotheses. The first is there a difference in commitment to MSU between students who are first-generation students and other? The second is there a difference in students who have a feeling of belonging according to the student's ethnicity? Third, is there a difference in social influences among students that are affected by the real world used in determining retention rates among freshmen and sophomores at MSU? Is there a difference in positive academic experiences between students who have strong family support? And finally, is there a difference in credit hours earned or taken among students with a work status while attending MSU? The second set of hypotheses are our regression hypotheses. The first is positive academic experiences relate to professors' attitudes and social influences. The second is commitment to MSU relates to a feeling of belonging among students. The third is commitment to MSU is produced by college town satisfaction and social life. The fourth is students who have an active social life have high interactive social influences and a feeling of belonging. And the last one is college town satisfaction is related to age among students at MSU. In preparation for our research, we reviewed numerous previous studies on academic attrition, as well as internet articles and government statistics. In the process, numerous variables had been studied to explore the causes of student attrition. Among them are background variables such as age, gender, race, ethnicity, and socioeconomic factors. Also, environmental variables such as courses, programs, facilities, faculty, and peer groups at the university itself. Internally, we studied student intentions. So how committed are they to the goal? How committed are they to the institution at which they're studying? The fourth is the use of student support services available at the university. And the fifth is levels of social and academic integration using the student integration model to assess. Some of the questions we found answers to were, what are the demographics of students who are likely not to complete their degree at MSU Texas? We found 55.5% of MSU students drop out by year 6. Nationally, 57% of students enrolled in college drop out by year 6. Dropout percentages by race. Caucasian dropout is 38%, Asian is 1.2%, African American 62%, and Hispanic 55%. The next question we asked was, what are the main reasons for freshmen and sophomores dropping out of MSU Texas? They include issues with transition to college, financial responsibilities, difficulty juggling family and personal responsibilities, as well as poor advising and teaching. Next was issues with commitment, motivation, and social and academic integration. And we found that second-year students display an internal focus with issues of academic confidence in year 2 as opposed to social integration lacks of confidence in freshmen. We also looked at how students finance their education at MSU Texas. We found that 47% of costs are covered by family income and savings. And within that, parents pay 34% and students pay 13%. 28% is covered by scholarships and grants. 24% is covered by borrowing. At MSU, 55% of incoming students take out a loan to help pay for college. We also studied what student service programs are most needed to help students complete their degree at MSU Texas. The main thing we found was adequate advisory services, internships, community-based learning, study abroad programs have led to increased student retention at other universities. What has been the outcome of low student retention among college freshmen and sophomores? To those students themselves, on average, a college dropout earns 35% of, or $21,000 less each year than a college graduate. And over time, college dropouts typically have higher rates of unemployment. Next, we conducted the qualitative research. And the goal of that qualitative research was to better understand the factors that contribute to student attrition and retention rates at MSU Texas, and to gain insight into actions the university could take in order to improve retention rates. In the results of our ANOVA tests, we found on question 1, there is not a significant difference in the means between students who commit to MSU, who are first-generation students, and those who are not first-generation students. Next, students who are first-generation students have a greater mean of 0.06414 compared to students who are not first-generation with a mean of 0.05082. On question 2, we found that there is a significant difference in the means of students who have a feeling of belonging according to their ethnicity. Belonging in accordance with ethnicity has a greater mean broken down in order from greatest to smallest, meaning among African Americans at 0.68776, Asians at 0.59352, other at 0.34370, African Americans at 0.27543, Hispanics at 0.20582, and whites at 0.13057. On our third research question, p-value is 0.001, so the test results are significant, and the conclusion is to reject HO and accept HA. In this case, there is a significant difference in the means among students' interpersonal relationships, with 6 students who had an impact on academic success and intellectual growth. The means of social influences are not affected by real-world issues, with a mean of 0.11694, and those that maybe have been affected have a mean of 0.07688, and those that have been affected have a mean of 0.06012. On question 4, the p-value is 0.000, so the test results are significant, and the conclusion is to reject HO and accept HA. In this case, there is a significant difference in the means of students with family support who have positive academic experiences at MSU, Texas, and students who do not have family support and positive academic experiences. The mean of students who have family support are 0.03280, and those who do not have positive academic experiences due to family support or a lack thereof are 0.05940. On question 5, we found p-value is 0.000, so the test results are significant, and the conclusion is to reject HO and accept HA. There is a significant difference in the means of credit hours taken among students who have a work status while attending MSU and student credit hours who do not have a work status. The mean of students with credit hours who have a work status are that students who work more than 20 hours a week have a mean of 2.75326. The mean of students who work but less than 20 hours have a mean of 2.54886, and students who do not work at all have a mean of 1.47242. In our regression test results, we found for question 1, p-value for social influence is 0.002, and p-value for professors' attitudes is 0.000, and both have positive beta, so test results are significant, so we reject HO and accept HA. Therefore, we conclude social influences and professors' attitudes do correlate with positive academic experiences. On question 2, p-value for feeling of belonging is 0.000 and has a positive beta, so the test results are significant. So we reject HO and accept HA. Therefore, we conclude that feelings of belonging are correlated with commitment to MSU among students. For question number 3, p-value for college town satisfaction is 0.000 and has a positive beta, and p-value for social life is 0.000 and has a positive beta. So the test results are significant. We reject HO and accept HA. Therefore, we conclude that college town and social life has a direct correlation with student commitment to MSU. On question 4, p-value for belonging is .000 and has a positive beta, and social influences has a p-value of .000 and has a positive beta. So test results are significant, and we reject HO and accept HA. Therefore, we conclude that students with high social influences and have a feeling of belonging have an active social life at MSU, Texas. On our last regression question, p-value for age is .002, so the test results are significant, but the beta is negative. We do reject HO and accept HA. It is concluded that age is a correlation with college town satisfaction.
The results of our testing that we conducted showed multiple significant factors from what our hypothesis was originally intended to show. The first thing that we found were social influences and professor attitude correlate positively with the academic experience. So the social influences, whether it be other students that are in the classroom or if they have friends outside the classroom, are positively correlated with how they feel that the academic experience is going in the classroom. And also the professor attitude. Professor attitude relates to whether that professor is approachable or feels like the student feels like that professor wants them to succeed in the classroom. 2, feeling of belonging correlates directly with the commitment to MSU Texas. So the feeling of belonging is whether or not that student feels that other students want them around, their professors want them to be successful in the classroom, and it has a lot to do with the social setting of MSU Texas. 3, college town and social life have a direct correlation with commitment to MSU Texas. So college town, as we discussed earlier, was whether the town of Wichita Falls and MSU Texas have a strong connection and influences students to be here and be more active in the community. Social life goes back to whether the student has relationships outside of the classroom. 4th, we have the social influences and a feeling of belonging influence having a more active social life. So social influences can be anything from whether the student is interactive in clubs or fraternities or sororities. And the feeling of belonging goes back to what we said with the commitment of MSU Texas before. Feeling of belonging being other students want them to be involved in activities. 5th, age is a direct correlation to what a college town should feel like. So this more directly relates to incoming students to MSU Texas. So coming out of high school or being a non-traditional student, a college town should have a more young millennial type feel. So what we found out throughout this process is that we thought in the beginning many of the factors surrounding students' retention and commitment to MSU Texas would be tied to mostly internal factors such as job status, income, or even how much the student is having to pay out of pocket towards MSU Texas. What we quickly realized is that most of our students at MSU Texas were easily influenced by their peers surrounding them, the Wichita Falls area, and professors inside the classroom. So the social life on campus is the main underlying factor in what we found with students throughout the campus. Basically, if this student did not have a social life or felt like that they were strongly connected to other students throughout the campus, they would automatically feel like they were being either left out or split apart from the rest of the student body and would not have a strong commitment to what MSU Texas is trying to achieve. One factor that was not considered at the beginning of the research was the age of the student when coming to campus. So this factor was mostly tied to the college town feeling. So basically, does the student feel like Wichita Falls and MSU Texas are trying to work together to make students feel like they are welcomed and wanted in the Wichita Falls area? Lastly, we dove into the classroom experience of MSU Texas and what professors were creating as an environment in their classrooms. What we saw mostly is that students felt that professors were not always readily available for whether it be extra help on assignments, tests, or basically just overall advice on what the student needs to be doing to positively influence whether it be grades or a stronger social life. However, students felt a positive environment in the classroom simply from other students that they knew or had outside relationships within the classroom. This goes on to show that the bottom line of student retention at MSU Texas is going to always positively correlate with the feeling of a strong social presence outside the classroom. So this relates back to the social life and the surrounding Wichita Falls area and how a college town feels.
In summary, we hope you found the presentation on student retention at Midwestern State University of Texas insightful and informative. Thanks for watching.